everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is the Motorcycle Rescuer. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer. It's Friday morning. I've got less time today than I did yesterday. I had 3 hours yesterday, I got 2 hours this morning, and I just hate sitting at home doing nothing. So I thought I've got 2 new parts to kind of look into this bike. I have got a new regulator over here. I purposely bought a different one. There's something about this one I'm not sure about, but this is for this bike, or at least it was advertised for this bike. But yeah, I bought a different one. And secondly, I've got a wiring loom. So we have kind of the last 2 ditch efforts here to make this work. Now, my very slight concern is that I've broke the ignition. Probably not. I'm sure I can make it work. And also, it just, it costs a few pounds getting a new one, so it's not a huge issue. But yeah, what I wanted to do, the battery is fully charged. I've had that charged up. I want to just try the new regulator first. Let me find that for you. There it is. There's the new reg. I'll show you that it's different to the old one. There you go. So I mean, even though it's similar shape, it's a different model, and actually the wiring harness is different. This one has a pink in it, so yellow, red, pink, and green. This may not mean anything, guys. It may not mean anything, but it could also be the missing piece of the puzzle. This could resolve the issue automatically. If it doesn't, then of course we need to change the wiring loom. Where's that? Let me show you that. There it is. It's just a second-hand wiring loom, but it's got no nicks or breaks, and it will be fine. It will do the job we want it to do, and it's all neat and tucked up. So yeah. And also, to test that that's working, that wiring loom, we don't need to go nuts at the original stage. We just need to plug in the bits. So from the starter solenoid, the earths, a couple of earths, and then the actual stuff. We don't need to worry about all up there or anything like that when we're testing it. But for now, let's see if we get extremely lucky and the new regulator solves the problem. It's highly unlikely. If it did, I'd have to decide whether I use the new wiring loom anyway, because this looks shocking. But the reality is, this only looks shocking because I've unwrapped it. Plenty insulation tape would take this back to how it should be, and that would be fine. It'd probably be more insulated than when it comes out of the factory with that, if I was being honest. So let me chuck on the new reg. I'm going to chuck in the battery. I'm not going to do anything else, and see if that automatically resolves our problem. Ideally, I can get this switch working somehow. And yeah, let's have a look. So it's quite hard to put these ignitions back together in reality, but that should be on, off, on, off, on, off. That should actually be it. I'm sure it will be. Simple plug and play with this bit next into there. The new regulator. I'll keep it up here so it is earthing, and we'll see. We'll throw the battery on and see what happens. You never know. If this solves the problem, then I'll be extremely happy, and I'll probably be ready to get out here tomorrow and piece this thing back together after finding a hell of a lot of insulation tape from somewhere. Probably need to go and buy that. Let's see. Let's plug that in. Let me throw the battery on. Let's see if for once in a couple of weeks, a few weeks actually, we've got lucky with this bike and the problem is resolved. It would be tempting to chuck that wiring loom on if it was, but no, there's no point adding any more to that mix. At this stage, it will be just getting it back up and running and charging and back to its regular self. We know it's a good running bike. We just need it to do the basics, which is, charging at some point. So, great. Let me plug that in. I'll throw the battery in, and of course I'll record the outcome, which will probably be that it's still not charging. Okay, so I've tried to get you the best angle so that you can see what's going on. Let me tilt you forward a touch. Alright, Tune.
Wind, snow, rain, all right here, mate.
You get used to it. So the first thing to notice, guys, is the ignition isn't great. So if I fully nip it on, is that on now? It doesn't do anything. It needs to be very slightly to the left. So there's something in there that just needs a little bit more. So we need to play with the ignition a bit more. That's not a huge issue because, like I said, they're only a few pounds online. Let's get the readings. So 12.44 there, roughly. I kind of want you guys to see everything, so I'm going to try and tilt you a touch more. I think you can see the reading right at the bottom of the screen there. Let's fire it up. Obviously, if the reading jumps up to kind of 12.8 or 9, then you're automatically sorted. And then with some revs, it should go kind of 13.4, 13.5, roughly. I'm just making them numbers up, guys, but the point is, it should naturally be higher than this voltage when it started, and then it should be even higher when you rev it. You can see quite clearly there, guys, that it's dropping rather than raising. So we absolutely still have the issue. There you go. So clearly the new reg wasn't an issue. I bought that reg myself out of my money, but that's fine. It was worth a shot. So next vid will be the wiring loom. Now I might just throw some bits together now over the next few minutes. But my plan wasn't to do this today. I haven't got much time. It's -1 in London at the moment. My hands are freezing. But it might give us some idea of what's going on if I can get enough of it set up for it to just kind of tick over, and then I can worry about the rest of it tomorrow. Now, currently, guys, I'm actually stripping everything back. I'm taking back the original loom. Now, if you're doing this on an older bike, any kind of older bike, don't do that. Okay? You find the correlating plug from the new loom, you plug that in, and then you switch out. The reason I'm doing it on this is because on a modern bike, most of the plugs are different, although on this they're not actually, a lot are the same. On an older bike, people are going to have changed things. Lots of the connectors will be different. If you strip it off like I'm doing, where you literally pull it off and throw it aside, you will find it a right pain in the ass to put back together. So trust me, switch over one at a time, switch it all over up here, then strip away the old one, and then follow through like that all the way to the back of the bike. I've done it plenty times before, and that's what works best. But again, on this bike, I just want to get rid of that crap all the way back, push it to the back, and then connect up just the basics of the new one to see if that makes a difference. So I stripped the bike off the old loom, and why I'm here, guys, I've been thinking about YouTube channels recently, because obviously I have mine, and actually lots more popping up. We've got Nats Knackers Yard and Motorcycle Man UK, and now even oh god, DT Essex, sorry if I said that wrong, and then you've got George's little channel, and basically they're all quite small channels, and YouTube have changed the way they advertise these channels, and they pay for these channels. They've changed that. So for example, in the past, a channel with 1 million subscribers would make a lot of money naturally, even if their content was crap, and no one was engaging with them. But nowadays, smaller channels can have just as good as a reputation. Now the reason I'm saying this is because any chance you get on someone's channel to drop a like and a comment, do it. Yeah. Not only that, if you've got a minute spare, like every comment in that channel, because that's how the new YouTube algorithm works. It works on interaction with your channel rather than your output. So so when I look at other people's channels, I like the main, and then I like all the comments at the bottom, and I drop a comment, no matter how trivial it is, no matter how silly you feel. It could be something like, great, keep up the good work, and then I try and comment back and click the like button and the love button, and that is how you become basically boosted in YouTube's eyes. So so anyone out there, if there's 400 people watching my video, do press the like button. There's no reason why you shouldn't, and do drop a comment if you've got a minute spare, because it's all really helpful. Now back to here. The old loom is fully stripped off to the side. We need to work out what bits we need to actually make this work. Obviously, we need an ignition. There you go. We then need some sort of regulator. There you go. Now, up here, we do need some bits and pieces. That's the horn. That stuff's lighting. We do need some bits and pieces so that we can actually switch on the bike. So we've got here, that's the actual power switch. That's definitely needed. Interesting. There you go. And then we have, what have we got here? There you go. And then this one here. So that's the kind of, you don't need to worry about the horn, you don't need to worry about the lights. You do need the brakes, one of the brakes set up. One of them, because you need to press it to start the bike. So the green is the earth on this occasion. That puts the black in there. I mean, that's really annoying. That's ridiculous, using green and black. So that's fine. Now down here, so that bit's kind of all good. Yeah. None of this matters at the moment. Horns, lights, all of that. Nothing to worry about. Now down here, then one of the next things we need, which is important, is, let's start with the, what have we got here? So the earth, that's the earth, that goes there, that goes down to there. Nope, sorry, it goes to that one there, the smaller one. It goes down to there, that's the earth. So this will be down there. So you pull the loom over, this will sit down there. This one has come, yep. So the spark solenoid there, got the coil. That will go onto the coil there, and then back here we just need to plug in two silly bits like the automatic choke, and then you'd be not to recognise where the the kickstand is. It would be this one, I'm sure. That will be the kickstand. So with the new earth, guys, you'd be nuts not to clean it at this stage. Absolutely nuts. Don't be tempted to chuck it on dirty, there's no point. What's that red wire? That will be the that will be right, that will be the where is it? This red wire here, guys. So we will move that across. That's important. This said all the wires were present, so that one obviously isn't present. So it's worth considering that. You can always write back to them and tell them and get a few pounds back, which is worth doing if they've been a bit sly. The other thing I think they've done is I think they took out, I can't see the starting, there it is, the diode, so let me find mine somewhere. There it is, there's the starting diode. That's been cleaned. I cleaned that last time. That goes into there. The annoying thing about them taking that out is if that was somehow part of the problem, then it still is. Right. On this, from the side stand switch, that's all I've done. I've plugged in the old one that I already did. Let me strip that back and get that ready. Got to learn how to use these. These were Jake's. I think they have settings. I like the ones that just bite, guys, but they don't last very long. Right, there's that there. Oh God, I'll do the same thing. Come on. There's that there. This is not the long-term fix, guys. This will need to be done properly, ideally solder, but at least tape to give it, insulation tape to give it a good solid connection. So that's fine. So we need the earth to go down onto here, and then we need, so it's this earth at this point and this earth here, there and there, back down to the frame. Now I've tested all these earth points, guys. There's no, they all seem to be working, so there's no issues there in regards to the earths. Right, so that's good. So at this stage, we could throw this on and this on. We're probably a touch early, actually. Let's wait a minute. Let's give ourselves time. So what do we need back here? We need, right, this yellow and green. That's this one here. Sorry, guys. I hope you're still in the shop. I think. What are you? You are. What are you from? Ah, I think your automatic choke. You go there. That's an important looking. Ah, CDI. How can you forget the CDI? Right. There you go. And there you go. CDI in. This stuff I don't think is overly important. I think that's the fuel sender. And then lighting, that's fine. Here we have, very important, guys, very important. We need to sort out here, don't we? So black and red in there. Red, white, and blue and white in there. Now I'm going to splice on some connectors down there, I think, guys. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to wire it. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the majority's done there, guys. Just to show you that I'm doing it all in real time, I'm going to connect up the battery. So look, I'll bring this on the outside for now, but it'll need neatening if it worked. And then, of course, we need this here as well. There you go. Good, that earth is down, this earth goes here. And I think, make sure the stator wires aren't touching. Now I think we should be at a stage here where we're ready to test. If this didn't work, guys, if this doesn't work, which I'm not, I'm not holding my breath that it will, it is over for me in this bike. New wiring loom, 2 regulators, ignition switch taken apart, stupid amounts of work, 2 stators, the original plus a new. It becomes not worth it after this. And it would be a scrapper, actually. It'd be, to be fair, it's a running engine. The forks and stuff are good, the exhaust is fine, it can be cleaned up, but this is a scrapper bike, so this is kind of its last hope, really, in many ways. The really kind of picky part of me would want to try another stator and a new ignition if I was really, really picky, but it just winds you up. You could spend that, 50 quid again, and then this bike probably owes Warren £1,000, and it's just not worth it. So let's see what's going on. Oh God, I've had so many bads with this bike. I don't like even trying anymore. Let's see if it even starts at this stage, guys. I'm going to move you back a bit so you've got full scope. There you go. So, at the moment, didn't even start. Let me. It will be the wiring at the top for the brakes, I'm sure. Okay, so I think we're back. Let's get the meter chucked in. There you go. Should I get you a little closer? There's your reading. At the bottom of your screen there, guys, there's your reading. You should be able to see that 12.43 at the moment. Let's fire it up. Again, as I said before, it should creep a little bit, maybe 12.8, 12.9 under revs, under normal revs, and then it should get a bit higher on revs. For clarity, I'm using the old regulator, not the original, the first one I bought. So, let's see. So that's lower, guys. That's obviously lower. What's interesting this time, guys, is that it's neutral. It's not lower anymore, it's neutral, you see. But it doesn't matter how neutral it is, guys, it's not charging. Really interesting, that. Really interesting. I mean, it's even slightly charging right now. No, it's not. It's at its base. It can't hurt at this stage to switch over the regs. There you go, regulator swapped. Let's try again. You tell me, guys, what's missing. I wonder if these colours do need to be switched. I am curious. I just assumed yellow was yellow, white was white. I'm gonna have a little play. I'm gonna swap the I think the black and green is probably good. I'm gonna swap the yellow and white out of curiosity, and then I'm gonna do a little mixture of all. So guys, I've tried every combination of wiring from the stator. None of them changed anything. Well, for the better. It got worse, of course. That's it. I mean, what are the chances of the original stator, which is kind of still hanging loose down there, and the new stator both not working? Or have we been extremely unlucky and had a mixture of all of these problems? The regs work, I'm sure, but we've got two to play with. I mean, we've got two stators, but again, something's not right, is it? From what I've seen in the past, if your stator is busted, your voltage at the battery drops on its own naturally. So I don't think the second stator, the one in there now, is actually an issue. And I don't know where this issue lies anymore, guys. I'm done with this bike. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'll throw its panels back on tomorrow, and Warren can decide what he wants to do with it. I could probably part this bike out. I could probably get enough from parts to make up for the Vespa, if he wants to keep the Vespa. And just I'll keep this, but I'm not gonna be working this bike anymore, guys. That's the truth. I'm gonna be stripping it for parts. So that's his only option he's got left. He can keep the Vespa and sign this over to me, but it's gonna be engine out. It's gonna be engine out. It's gonna be parts. And that will barely make me the Vespa money back. Actually, it won't, but the parts could come in quite handy for someone. So that's it. I am declaring the Lex Moto project as over and finished. You can go round in circles all day, guys. We could put a third stator in, it could be the same issue. you just can't chase these problems all the time. It does not make sense. I think I've done everything, all of the natural stuff that should be done. I don't think there's anything left. Switches should not cause that kind of problem. The ignition switch works, as in it presses on and off. Could be an issue in the ignition itself there. It could be an earthing issue, but it'd be highly unlikely, guys. It'd be really highly unlikely for that to happen. And I don't know what we would look at on here. So it would probably be the red bridges to the white and black. It'd probably be the 3 bridges, and the earth is what shuts it off, if that makes sense. It'd probably be something like that. So we could test that, but it really is highly unlikely that is causing the problems. So that's it. Anyway, I am declaring this project as over. I'm not putting any more time or effort into it. I will strip it down for parts. I hate selling parts on eBay, guys. It really winds me up. Constant complainers, constant running to the post office. But what can you do with a bike like this? I'm not going to chase issues and keep putting money into it for the next few weeks. So I'm very happy to declare that over. At least in my mind, I get rid of that. It's out of my mind. It's finished. Let me know what you think. I'm not necessarily going to try anything new. I mean, if you tell me you think the switch is gone or something, then I'll have a look at it. But I'm just not going to. Yeah, I'm just not going to bother trying much more with this. Let me know what you think about this decision. I'll let you know what Warren says. He's going to be upset, but there's nothing we can do about it. The bike was hit by a car. It was knocked over on its side. And this is the point I like to get to people as much as possible. When a bike's been knocked over, or if you've dropped a bike, the amount of damage that you can't see can be huge, guys. It can be absolutely massive. Even though the bike looks okay, I mean, his steering was bent, so it obviously wasn't okay. It took a big old hit. But even if the bike looks okay, the damage is not. Warren might even want to consider calling his insurers and saying the bike was knocked over by a car, or just that the bike was on its side. He might even get a payout. I'll talk to him and see what he says. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please take my advice. If you're watching any small YouTube channels, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and like comments underneath, and throw a comment in underneath. It's all really helpful. It kind of boosts the channel, and that boosts people's confidence.